Have you ever paused to consider what life might feel like when you find yourself alone in your later years? Imagine the quiet mornings when the only sound is the soft tick of a clock, the absence of familiar voices, and the slow passage of time that once brimmed with shared laughter and companionship. Many of us never truly think about it until we're faced with the reality. When loved ones move away, friends pass on, and the lively hum of daily life fades into a subdued background. Aging alone can be one of the most daunting experiences we face, and the feeling of isolation can be overwhelming. Yet, this solitude does not have to lead to misery. In fact, with the right mindset and by embracing a series of daily habits, you can cultivate a life that is rich in meaning, purpose, and joy, even when you are on your own. In this video, I'm going to share with you 6 essential daily habits that can transform your experience of aging alone. These habits are not simply about keeping busy. They're designed to help you stay mentally sharp, physically active, emotionally resilient, and fully engaged with each new day. The difference between loneliness and the peaceful solace of solitude often hinges on the small choices you make each day. So if you're ready to reshape your later years and create a life that overflows with contentment rather than regret and isolation, stick with me until the end. Let's begin with the first essential habit: establishing a daily routine. Imagine waking up each day without a plan, a blank slate where time drifts by unnoticed. Without structure, you can quickly feel lost, unmotivated, and disconnected from the world around you. As we age, having a well-structured daily routine becomes one of the most powerful tools to maintain a sense of purpose and direction. A routine isn't about cramming your day with trivial tasks. It's about infusing every morning with intention. When you have a routine, you create a framework that gives you a reason to rise, that stabilizes your day and propels you forward. Take, for example, the story of Robert, a 76-year-old retired engineer who lost his beloved wife. After her passing, Robert's days began to blur together. He would sleep in irregular hours, skip meals, and let the television become his only companion. The once vibrant rhythm of his life had been replaced by an emptiness that felt insurmountable. Yet, one day he decided to reclaim his time by creating a simple daily schedule. He began waking up early, taking a brisk walk as the sun rose, preparing his own meals, and even scheduling regular phone calls with family members. Slowly but surely, Robert found that his days were no longer slipping away. He was actively taking charge of his life, finding clarity and comfort in the routine he built for himself. A daily routine serves as the backbone of your day, anchoring you amidst the uncertainties and challenges of aging. It gives structure to what might otherwise feel like an endless series of unremarkable hours. Even small, seemingly insignificant actions, like watering your favorite plants at a designated time, listening to a cherished song in the evening, or jotting down your thoughts before bed, can instill a sense of order and normalcy. The key is to start small. Write down a simple morning routine, plan your meals, and set aside moments for hobbies or relaxation. In doing so, you're making a conscious decision about how to spend your time rather than simply letting life happen to you. A carefully planned routine not only fills your day, but also bestows upon your life a feeling of order, meaning, and continuous progress. Now, let's move on to habit number 2, prioritizing physical movement. As we age, one of the most common pitfalls is the tendency to slow down too much. While it is natural for our bodies to change over time, maintaining physical activity is like having a secret key to preserving youth, not in the sense of looking young, but in keeping your body strong, your mind alert, and your sense of independence intact. When you stop moving, your muscles begin to lose strength, your flexibility diminishes, and your energy wanes, all of which can contribute to a decline in overall health. But here's the encouraging news. You don't need to run marathons or engage in strenuous workouts to stay active. Simple, consistent movement can make a profound difference. Consider Eleanor, a 78-year-old retired librarian who once led a mostly sedentary life after retirement. At first, she hardly noticed any changes, but over time, everyday tasks like bending down to retrieve something from a low shelf or walking longer distances became noticeably more challenging. Convinced that these difficulties were an inevitable part of aging, Eleanor felt trapped by her body. However, after joining a local walking group and incorporating gentle stretching into her morning routine, she began to experience a remarkable transformation. Her energy levels soared, her posture improved, and she even discovered that her sleep had become deeper and more restorative. The lesson here is that physical movement is not an occasional activity. It is a daily necessity. Even if mobility is limited, there are numerous ways to keep your body engaged. Chair exercises, water aerobics, or simply making it a point to stand up and sit down several times during the day can all contribute to improved strength and circulation. Moreover, exercise offers benefits beyond the physical realm. Studies have shown that staying active can also protect your brain by reducing the risk of cognitive decline and even dementia. When you move your body, you not only fortify your muscles, but also stimulate your brain, reduce stress, and keep your mind engaged with life's challenges. If you've been inactive for a long period, start small. A 5-minute walk, a few gentle stretches in the morning, or even some light housework can be enough to set the wheels in motion. The more consistently you move, the easier it becomes, and soon, you'll notice that each day you feel stronger, healthier, and more invigorated. Moving forward, let's discuss habit number 3, staying socially engaged. One of the most painful aspects of aging alone is the gradual erosion of social connections. Over time, friends move away, family members become absorbed in their own lives, and the opportunities for regular social interactions dwindle. Isolation is not merely an emotional hardship. It poses serious risks to both mental and physical health. Research has even indicated that loneliness can be as harmful as smoking or obesity, increasing the likelihood of heart disease, depression, and cognitive decline. But loneliness does not have to be an inevitable part of aging. Choosing to remain socially active is one of the most important habits you can cultivate. Even brief, daily interactions, a phone call with a friend, a warm conversation with a neighbor, or a casual chat with a cashier, can significantly boost your emotional well-being. The power of human connection lies in its ability to remind us that we are part of something larger than ourselves. It doesn't take grand gestures. Simple, consistent connections can make all the difference. Consider Frank, an 80-year-old widower who had resigned himself to a life of solitude after his wife passed away. In the beginning, Frank justified his isolation by convincing himself that his children were too busy and that his friends had their own lives to lead. However, as the months wore on, the sense of disconnection grew unbearable. Realizing that isolation was taking a toll on his health and spirit, Frank decided to take small steps to reconnect. He began by making a weekly phone call to an old friend, later joining a local senior group, and even signing up for an online chess club. Gradually, Frank rediscovered the joy of social interaction, and with each new conversation, he felt more vibrant, more connected, and more hopeful about the days ahead. In today's digital age, technology has also provided us with innovative ways to stay connected. Even if physical distances separate you from loved ones, video calls, online communities, and social media platforms can bridge that gap, offering a sense of closeness despite the miles. Remember, loneliness is not solely about being alone. It's about feeling disconnected. The more you make an effort to engage with others, the more you fortify your emotional health and enrich your daily life. Next, we come to habit number 4, keeping your mind stimulated. A common misconception about aging is that cognitive decline is an unavoidable consequence of getting older. However, just as your body benefits from regular exercise, your brain thrives on mental stimulation. If you let your mind become idle, it can lose the sharpness that once defined you. The good news is that you hold the power to keep your cognitive faculties active and vibrant, no matter your age. Stimulating your mind doesn't require mastering complex puzzles or enrolling in intensive courses, although those can be beneficial if they spark your interest. It's about integrating activities into your daily life that challenge your thinking and keep your curiosity alive. This can include reading books, exploring new hobbies, engaging in deep conversations, or even learning a new language. Each of these activities not only bolsters your memory and focus, but also injects your days with fresh ideas and perspectives. Take Janet, a 74-year-old former teacher who, after retiring, found herself spending hours in front of the television, watching life pass by. She noticed that her memory wasn't as reliable as it used to be, and small forgetful moments began to disrupt her daily routine. Concerned by this decline, Janet made a conscious decision to stimulate her mind. She rediscovered her love for reading, tackled daily crossword puzzles, and enrolled in an online Spanish class. Within weeks, she experienced a notable improvement in her concentration and overall mental sharpness. Not only did these activities keep her mind engaged, but they also provided a sense of accomplishment and a renewed zest for life. Your brain, much like a muscle, requires regular exercise to maintain its strength. Learning something new, even if it is something as simple as trying out a different recipe or exploring a new genre of music, can create new neural pathways, keeping your mind flexible and resilient. Moreover, keeping your mind stimulated wards off feelings of boredom and depression, providing you with a continual source of joy and satisfaction. Now, let's explore habit number 5, practicing gratitude and reflection. In the midst of life's inevitable challenges, it's all too easy to dwell on what has been lost: youth, opportunities, or even health. However, shifting your focus to what remains, what is still beautiful and valuable in your life, can have a transformative effect on your overall mindset. Gratitude is not about denying life's hardships. It is about recognizing and cherishing the blessings that persist, no matter how small. George, a 79-year-old retired firefighter, experienced profound grief after the loss of his wife. He found himself trapped in a cycle of sorrow, constantly reliving painful memories and fixating on the void left behind. One day, George decided to try something different. He began keeping a gratitude journal, a simple daily practice where he wrote down 3 things he was thankful for. Sometimes these were grand moments, like the joyful laughter of his grandchildren, and sometimes they were small blessings, a warm cup of coffee or the gentle patter of rain on the roof. Over time, this practice shifted George's focus. While he still grieved, he learned to appreciate the beauty that lingered in each day. The act of reflecting on what he was grateful for provided him with a sense of peace and helped alleviate the weight of loneliness. In addition to journaling, taking a few moments each day for quiet reflection, whether through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting outside and absorbing the natural world, can be incredibly grounding. This reflective time allows you to process your thoughts, release stress, and reconnect with the present moment. When you cultivate gratitude and self-reflection as daily habits, you create an internal sanctuary of positivity that stands strong against the challenges of solitude. Finally, we arrive at habit number 6, finding a way to help others. It might seem counterintuitive when you're focused on your own struggles to consider extending a hand to someone else. However, one of the most profound ways to combat loneliness and inject meaning into your life is by giving back. Whether it's as simple as checking in on a neighbor, volunteering in your community, or mentoring someone who could benefit from your experience, the act of helping others creates connections and restores a sense of purpose. Margaret, an 82-year-old former nurse, had reached a point where she felt that her contributions to the world had dwindled. With her children grown and her social circle shrinking, she began to feel increasingly isolated. Instead of surrendering to despair, Margaret made a deliberate decision to become active in her community by volunteering at a local food bank. What started as a few hours a week soon grew into a daily ritual that filled her life with renewed meaning. Through volunteering, Margaret not only made new friends, but also rediscovered her inherent value and compassion. The simple act of giving, of sharing a smile, lending an ear, or offering a bit of guidance, transformed her experience of aging alone into one of connection and fulfillment. When you choose to help others, you shift your focus away from your own difficulties and tap into the universal truth that we all have something valuable to offer. Even if you feel physically limited or emotionally burdened, there are countless ways to contribute. You might write letters to old friends, mentor younger individuals online, or simply extend kindness to someone in need. The act of giving is powerful. It nurtures a sense of belonging, fortifies your spirit, and reinforces the idea that you are never truly alone. As we come to the end of this exploration, it's important to reflect on these 6 daily habits: establishing a routine, prioritizing physical movement, staying socially engaged, keeping your mind stimulated, practicing gratitude and reflection, and finding ways to help others. These habits are not merely strategies to pass time. They are foundational pillars that can help transform the experience of aging alone into one of rich, rewarding solitude filled with purpose and connection. The journey of aging is one that each of us must navigate, and while we cannot always control the external circumstances of our lives, we hold the power to shape our internal experiences. By embracing these daily habits, you empower yourself to transform loneliness into peaceful solitude, to build a life defined by intentionality and fulfillment rather than by regret and isolation. Before I leave you with these thoughts, I invite you to consider which of these habits resonates most deeply with you. Perhaps you'll begin tomorrow by simply writing out your daily routine or taking that first brisk walk in the morning. Maybe you'll reach out to an old friend or set aside time to learn something new. Every small step you take contributes to a ripple effect that can transform your entire outlook on life. In our fast-changing world, it is easy to feel overwhelmed by the prospect of growing old alone. But remember, every new day is an opportunity to rewrite your story. The choices you make, no matter how small, have the power to enrich your days and bring light even to the darkest moments. If you commit to these habits, you are not just filling your day. You are crafting a legacy of resilience, self-care, and love. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of what it truly means to age alone and to thrive despite it. If this message resonated with you, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video filled with insights to inspire and empower you. Your support means the world to me and helps spread the message that, regardless of life's challenges, each day offers the chance to create beauty, meaning, and connection. As you step forward into your day, take a moment to breathe deeply, reflect on the positive choices you can make, and trust that with each small habit, you are building a future that is uniquely and wonderfully yours. May your journey be filled with health, happiness, and the comforting assurance that even in solitude, you are never truly alone. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to walking this path with you as we continue to explore the transformative power of simple, daily choices. Remember, the strength to shape your future lies within you. One habit, one day, one moment at a time.